heartbeat, every breath that you take, and every body movement, they are all running on one powerful thing, that is your nutrition. Because the food that we eat, okay, it is not just for filling our stomach, rather it is the fuel that keeps us alive and healthy. So a very good morning to everyone. This is Krishna Sharma and I welcome you all to our channel X School. Okay, so make sure you watch this video till the end, because today we are going to explore the science behind food. Yes, that is your nutrition. Okay, and see, today we are going to learn the basics of nutrition in the simplest and most interesting way possible. Okay, all right, so let's get started. Okay, so yes, today we are going to learn about the what? As I said, the basics of nutrition. That is, we are going to learn about the definition. Okay, we are going to see the definition, the scientific definition, then the different types and modes of nutrition. Okay, the process of nutrition, and lastly the importance. Okay, why do we need nutrition? Okay, what is the what is the benefit, or what is the demerit, or what can be the different kind of diseases that can occur if you are lacking nutrition? Yes, so we are going to learn all about that. Okay, all right, so okay, now see, what do you understand by nutrition? What is nutrition? Is it simply just eating the food? Is it? Does nutrition mean simply taking enough food? No, see, this is the difference. Okay, many of us confuse nutrition with just eating of food. See, eating, or you can say taking enough food, this is just the first step. Okay, or you can say this is just a part of nutrition. Then what is nutrition? What exactly is nutrition? See, we will come back to, we will study about the definition later, but first try to understand. See, every living organism, okay, whether be it your human being, whether be it your plants or any animal, they need food to survive. Okay, why they need food? They need food to survive, and they use this food. Okay, all these living organisms, they use this food to obtain energy. Yes, to obtain energy, and this energy is then used in different kind of processes. That means you can say about your growth, then what, your repair, yes, repairment of tissues, your your maintenance of tissues. Yes, so all these processes, these are known as your life processes, and these processes, they helps in living organism to stay alive. Okay, so did you understand? Did you understand what is exactly nutrition? See, now see the definition. Okay, let us just read here. Okay, see here. So this is written, it is written that nutrition is nothing but this is the study. Okay, this is the study of how organisms obtain and use food to support growth, repair and energy needs. Okay, also along with that, see here, good nutrition, or you can say it as a balanced nutrition. Okay, so don't worry, we will come to balanced nutrition later in this video. Okay, so for now you just understand that good nutrition sustains life, supports development and promotes your overall health. Okay, it helps in promoting your overall health. Clear? Okay, did you understand? All right, so let us see the definition now. Okay, so let us see the scientific definition of nutrition. What it says? See, it says that nutrition, okay, this is the, as I said, this is the science of food. That means what? It explains, okay, it explains how living organisms, they obtain their food, okay, how they take in their food and convert it into energy, yes, and then the materials needed for your growth, repair and maintenance. And see, so is the definition clear? Yes, is the definition clear? See, again I'm repeating, okay, nutrition is the science of food, okay, and this is the process by which all living organisms, okay, all living organisms, they obtain their food. Yes, they obtain their food, and then, yes, what they do? They convert the complex food materials, okay, they convert the complex food materials into its simpler forms, right, and then the simpler forms, okay, the simpler forms of the food, they are used for for releasing energy. Yes, the most important requirement of of any living form. We need energy, right? We need energy to even think. We need energy to breathe. We need energy to walk. We need energy in almost every kind of activity, right? Yeah, so we need energy. Then again, what are the activities mentioned here? See, for our growth of our body, right? For the growth of cells, for repairment of our cells. Yes, since cells also undergo death, that is known as your tissue death, known as your necrosis, right? So every second, okay, every second inside your body, millions and millions of cells, they are being replaced. All cells, all millions and millions of old cells are being replaced with your new cells every second, every minute. So that means we can say the repairment of cells and tissues, and also maintenance. Okay, is it clear? Yes, nutrition, is it clear? Now see, this entire process of nutrition, okay, it involves the following steps. Okay, that is your first is your ingestion, okay, followed by your digestion. Then third, we have absorption, assimilation, and egestion. Okay, so these are the 5 steps. Okay, how many steps? These are the total 5 steps, right? One second, let me use another ink. Yes. Okay. So total we have 5 steps in nutrition, right? Now don't worry again. We will be discussing each of this step, okay, in detail in later part of this video, right? So for now, you just understand that there are 5 steps of nutrition, okay? They are your ingestion, your digestion, absorption, assimilation, and your egestion. Done? Okay? So are you being able to understand? All right. Now, next we have importance. Yes, importance of nutrition. Now, why do we need food? Why do we need food, or why the food has to be broken down inside the body? Only eating is not enough, right? As I said that many of us confuse nutrition with your taking enough food, whereas taking enough food is just the initial step. Okay, we will understand when we will be discussing about the different steps of nutrition. There we will it will be more clear. Okay, it will be more clear. So see, eating is not enough. Yes, what needs to be done? The food needs to be broken down. Yes, food needs to be broken down. And see, so the various nutrients that that food contains, okay, these are used for your, again, these 4 activities or these 4 necessities. See, it is your first is your energy. Yes, energy requirement. We need energy in almost every activity we are doing, right? Then your growth, okay, growth, repair, and maintenance of life. So these are the importance, or you can say these are the functions of your nutrition, right? Okay, got it? Then see what it is written here. It's written that your balanced diet. Okay, now what is a balanced diet? Again, I'll come back to it. Okay, I'll come back to it. So for now, you just understand that balanced diet prevents, okay, it helps to prevent your different kind of deficiency related disorders, okay, deficiency disorders, and also they help us to reduce the risk of chronic diseases, such as your risk of chronic disease, such as you can say your, the very common examples, that is your hypertension, then your diabetes. All these are your chronic life disease, right? So a balanced diet helps to prevent all of these. Did you get it? Okay. All right. Okay. Now coming to modes of nutrition. That means you can also say it as your different types, right? Different types. Okay. Now see, why there has to be different mode of nutrition and why not a single mode? You just compare the living world, okay? You just compare the living world. See, for example, see here in this picture itself, okay? In this picture itself, this is a squirrel, right? This is a squirrel. This is an animal, okay? These are what? These are your green plants, right? These are your green plants. See this, okay? These are your green plants. And we know that both your, the green plants and your animals, insect, human beings, all these are what? All these are ultimately living organisms, right? Living organisms. But have you ever seen a plant? Okay, have you ever seen a plant eating food with their hands? Do they have hands? First of all, tell me, do they have hands like us? Does plants eat like us? Okay, they are chewing food. Okay, have you seen a plant? No, right? Then how plants are able to, how plants are able to derive their nutrition? There must be some process, isn't it? See, that is a reason why, since our living world, okay, our living world is such a, it contains so many variations. It's such a wonderful world, right? That is a reason why there are variations, or you will say there are differences in the mode of nutrition. That means you will see differences in how each of the living organism they intake food, right? So let us study about all, the different types. First and foremost, the very important we have, that is your autotrophic. Okay, that is your autotrophic nutrition, right? Autotrophic. Auto means automatic. Yes, you can say auto means automatic, or you can say dependent. Trophic means what? Trophic means level of nutrition. That means, say, autotrophic organisms, these are those organisms that are able to prepare their own food. Okay, they are able to prepare their own food using different ingredients, okay, such as your sunlight, okay, sunlight, your mineral, then carbon dioxide, and the most important is your chlorophyll. And that is a reason why the process of nutrition in case of your autotrophic organism, this is known as your what? This is known as your photosynthesis, right? This is known as your photosynthesis. And by autotrophic organisms, they specifically mean the green plants, okay? Because the green plants are those that contain the chlorophyll. Yes, the green colored pigment, right? Chlorophyll and chlorophyll, this is the site of your photosynthesis, we all know, right? The site of photosynthesis is none other than your chlorophyll. That is the green colored pigment found in all green plants, correct? Okay, so this is your first mode. Second mode is your what? Heterotrophic organisms. Now, this kind of organisms, they are not able to prepare their own food. So they are going to depend on other organisms. It can be autotrophs, that means it can be your green plants, it can be your other animals. So they are dependent. Okay, examples, heterotrophic, we human beings, right? We human beings, animals, we all are heterotrophs because we are not able to prepare our own food. Yes. Now again, here you might be wondering, right? Ma'am, how is it possible? We used to prepare our food in the kitchen. You might be wondering, right? See everyone, okay, see students, the food that we prepare in our home, okay, in our kitchen, what we used to prepare? We used to prepare the vegetables, right? The veggies. Or if you are, if you are non-vegetarian, okay, if you are a non-vegetarian, you are going to prepare chicken. You are going to bring raw chicken, then you are going to cook the food, right? But for cooking your food, okay, where did you get the ingredients? Where did you get the ingredients? Did you prepare it? Did you prepare the chicken? Or did you prepare the veggies? Did you prepare any of this? No, right? So that is the reason why we human beings, okay, we human beings, or we all the animals, we are heterotrophic in nature. That means we cannot prepare our own food. We are dependent organisms. Okay, is it clear? All right, so done. Okay, autotrophic we have understood. Yes, heterotrophic we have understood. Now the third mode of nutrition is your saprophytic. Okay, saprophytic organism. Say, who are saprophytes? Okay, who are saprophytes? These are the organisms that feed on your decaying matter, okay, that feed on your dead, and not only just decaying, it includes your both dead and decaying matter. Okay, so saprophyte, you can think of an example. If I say about your animal kingdom, then vulture, right? Vulture is a very good example. So they are also known as your scavengers, right? Vulture, they are also known as your scavengers because they feed on dead and decaying matter. Also, say when I talk about your saprophytic mode of nutrition or your saprophytes, these organisms are very important for our ecological balance because they are responsible or they act as a cleansing agent of our environment, right? Because they clean up the decaying matter. Yes, they clean up the decaying matter. Okay, so next one, yes, in this case, okay, regarding your saprophyte, vulture is the best example, right? I give the example of your what? I give the example of your vulture. Now, various microbes, okay, various bacteria, various microbes, they are also responsible for what? Or you can say scavenging the environment. It means they are also responsible for exhibiting your saprophytic mode of nutrition, right? So vulture, you remember here, example, and also your different kind of bacteria, okay? Various forms of your bacteria also exhibit your saprophytic mode of nutrition. Clear? Lastly, we have what? The last mode of nutrition is your parasitic, okay? Parasitic mode of nutrition. Now, by the word itself, I think you can, you are able to understand what is exactly parasitic mode of nutrition or what are parasites. Yes, you all know, right? What are parasites? See, parasitic mode of nutrition, or you can say the parasites, okay? The parasites. I'm talking about what? I'm talking about your parasites, isn't it? Parasites, yes? Okay? These are the organisms, okay? These are the organisms that depend on host organism. They depend on the host organism for their nutrition. Okay? That means what? That means they are going to derive nutrition from the host organism. Yes, that means parasites are harmful, right? Parasites are going to harm the host organism in this process of obtaining the nutrition. See again example. A very common example in case of human beings, you will see where you can say the human being, okay, where human being, or you can say us, yes, we are the host, okay, we are the host organism for the parasite. That is your lice, yes, that is your lice, yes. Well, where this lice, or where you are going to find lice? Where you are going to find? In hairs, isn't it? In your hair, yes. They used to suck blood from the hair follicles. Yes, they are going to suck blood from the hair follicles. So, this is an example of your parasitic mode of nutrition, right? Do we get any kind of, any kind of benefit or any kind of, you can say, favor from this lice that stay in our head? Yes, usually, usually what happens? Some people, they lack the, hygiene conditions, okay, to maintain hygiene of their hair, isn't it? Specifically in those kind of people, you are going to find this lice, right? Yes. No, it enjoys, yes, it enjoys staying in a person's head, okay, where he will find dirt, right? He will find dirt, he will find many kind of microbes there. That kind of environment is very much, very much suitable for this lice to survive and multiply. Yes, and multiply in the number, right? Okay, so understood what is parasitic mode of nutrition, isn't it? Quickly, see again, modes of nutrition. First one is autotrophic, then we have your heterotrophic, then your saprophytic, and last one is your parasitic. So these are the four major types of your, or you can say four major modes of nutrition. Clear till now? Okay? Clear? Yes. Then next. Okay, now, see, now you have to know about, alright, now before coming to this, again, imagine, okay, just imagine about your favorite food. Maybe, maybe biryani, pizza, momos or chocolate. You enjoy it now, all this food. Even I also enjoy it. Anyways, so, see, here is an interesting point. Here is an interesting point. That is, every food item, okay? Every food item has different components, okay? Every food item has different components that affect the body in a different manner. Yes? And see, these components, okay? These components that are, contained in food, these are known as your nutrients, okay? These are known as your nutrients, yes, okay? Alright, and when we talk about nutrients in food, these are of two major types. That is your macronutrients, yes, macronutrients. One second. Macronutrients, and the another one is your micronutrients. So macronutrients and your micronutrients. Now, what are exactly these two type of nutrients, or what do you understand by these two type of nutrients? Yes, what are macronutrients? Say by the name itself, macro means what? Macro means large, right? That means these are the nutrients that are required by our body in large quantity. Yes, in large quantity. See? So, similarly, what will be micronutrients? Micro means small, tiny. That means these are the nutrients that are required by our body, okay, in small quantities, right? Then what comes in macro and micronutrients? What are the specific type of nutrient or specific type of components? Remember? Okay? See, in case of macronutrients, you have your carbohydrate, yes, carbohydrate, protein, yes, and thirdly your fats. So these three come under your macronutrients. And when we talk about micronutrients, you have your vitamins, yes, your minerals, and water and fiber. So these are your what? These are the entire component. These are the entire list of nutrients, yes, that are essential for our body, and each of these have a different function. Each of these what? They have a different function to serve in our body, right? Okay, all right. And see here is a small quote written. I think it's visible to you all. Yes, is it visible? Okay, I'm reading it out. Okay, it is written that your food is your medicine. Your food is your medicine. Now, why is it saying so? That your food is your medicine. See, again I'm adding one more line to it. You have to take your food. You have to take your food as your medicine, or else you will have to take medicine as your food. Did you understand? See, again I'm repeating. You have to take your food as your medicine, or else you have to take medicine as your food. Did you understand? Are you able to catch me what I'm saying? What is the difference? Now you will understand. Wait, see. Okay? See here. So yes, macronutrients, okay? I have already said that it includes your carbohydrates, your proteins and fats, right? Micronutrients, vitamins, minerals, and also your water and fiber. All right. Now, what are the functions? Yes, what are the functions all these nutrients serve in our body? Carbohydrate mainly for your energy. Yes, these are your energy-rich compounds. Okay, these are energy-rich compounds. Then, when you talk about proteins, yes, when we talk about proteins, these are mainly for your repair and maintenance. These are mainly for your repair and maintenance. Okay, repair and maintenance. Okay, clear? All right. Then fats mainly they help in your insulation. Yes, fats mainly your insulation. Okay, yes, clear? So these are the major functions. Okay, these are the major functions of these macronutrients, right? See, along with energy, or you can say along with your repair and maintenance, there are many functions, many more functions each of these components serve. So we will learn about that later, right? Then micronutrients, when you say about micronutrients, vitamins and minerals, see, vitamins, how many vitamins we have? Total? How many? Do you know? See, when we say about your vitamin B, or you can say B complex, along only your vitamin B complex, yes, this alone, okay, this alone compound has total how many? Total 7 variants. Vitamin B1, vitamin B2, B3, B4, B6, B7, B9, B12. Sorry, 8. Yes, 8. Okay, 8. Total 8. So alone your B complex vitamin, yes, it has 8 type of variants, right? So total vitamins, how many? You can say around 20 vitamins. 20 different type of vitamins you are going to find, yes. And minerals also. See, again, regarding minerals also, there will be two types of minerals, your macro minerals and your micro minerals. So you don't need to study that much, okay? For today, it will be enough. See here. So vitamins and minerals, these are essential for our health of our skin, yes, health of our skin, for our immunity, for our iron requirements, yes, for iron requirements, for blood purification. These are the different, different category or different, range of your functions that these micronutrients serve, right? And lastly, when we say about water and your fiber, okay, water is responsible, or sorry, water is essential for your transportation of your different nutrients. Yes, water gives a fluid medium. So water will help in the transportation of different mediums, whereas your fiber is very much essential for facilitating digestion. How it is going to facilitate? See, deficiency of fiber, okay, deficiency of fiber in your diet, it will lead to your disorders, or you can say medical conditions such as your constipation. Yes, so fiber helps us to get relief from your digestive disorders such as your constipation, okay. So these are equally important to maintain a healthy life, isn't it? Or you can say to maintain a healthy body, isn't it? Okay. All right. Now, so yes, wait one second. Coming back to this line that I said that your food is your medicine, that means you have to, or you should take food as your medicine, or else you will have to take medicine as your food. Did you understand now? What did I say? Why did I say it like that? Did you understand now? Is it clear? Okay. Because they are, all these kind of nutrients, they are very much essential for maintaining a healthy body, isn't it? For maintaining a healthy body. Now, if a person, okay, if an individual, he lacks to fulfill these requirements, okay, if he lacks to fulfill these requirements, then he will have to depend on what? He will have to depend on your supplement, he will have to depend on your medicines and many things, right? So remember that your food is your medicine, okay? Do not make medicine your food, right? Okay. Now see, now coming to a process of nutrition, right? Now coming to the process of nutrition, now you can see the steps. Yes, I have said there, right, that we will be discussing in details what each of these steps mean, or what exactly happens in each of these steps later. See here now. So process of nutrition, there were 5 steps, right? First is your ingestion. See, ingestion means nothing but this is just taking enough food, okay? Taking enough food. So ingestion means it starts the intake of food. This is the first step of your nutrition, okay? This is the first step of your nutrition. In your mouth, you have your what? Salivary amylase, right? Salivary amylase will act on the carbohydrate, will break down the carbohydrate into simpler form, isn't it? Then second is this is I, okay? This is I, digestion. So second step is your digestion. Digestion, then it will break food into smaller molecules, okay? Where this digestion happens, the digestion occurs, see, including in your mouth, okay? In mouth, your salivary amylase acts on the carbohydrate. That is a digestion. Okay, digestion nothing means digestion. This is the breaking down of your complex food molecule. Okay, complex food molecule into your simpler form. Say carbohydrate simpler form. Okay, the simpler form of carbohydrate is your what? It is your glucose. Yes, it is your glucose. Then similarly, for proteins, the simplest form or the simpler form, whatever you call, it is your amino acid, right? It is your amino acid. And lastly, for fat molecule, okay? Remember, fat is also known as your what? Lipid. Fat is also known as your lipid. So the simpler form of fat, this is your fatty acid, okay? Fatty acid, or you can say glycerol, okay? Fatty acid or glycerol. So these are the simpler forms of your complex food molecules, okay? And the breaking down of these complex food molecules into the simpler form, this is nothing but this is known as a digestion. So digestion takes place, okay, starts from your mouth itself. Then what? It goes to the stomach. In your stomach, your hydrochloric acid and your pepsinogen, all this kind of hormones, yes, these are going to act on the food particles. They are going to break down. And then after that, what will happen? It will travel to your small intestine, yes. Now, since food is broken down, in your small intestine, absorption occurs. Okay, absorption occurs. Yes, absorption where it occurs? In your small intestine, because small intestine, the surface of small intestine, it has finger-like projection known as your villi. Finger-like projection known as your villi. So these villi present in your small intestine, they helps to absorb, okay, absorb the digested, or you can say absorb the nutrients, and sends this sends these nutrients into your bloodstream, right? Because we know that blood is responsible for circulating different nutrients and collecting the waste products from all the parts of the body, right? So the nutrients will be sent back, will be sent to the bloodstream for circulation, right? So third step is completed, that is absorption is done. Fourth step is what? This is your assimilation. Now see, now blood is taking the nutrients, yes, blood will be taking the different nutrients to different parts of the body. Then what is going to happen? There will be exchange of nutrients with the cells of the different organs, right? So they will be using nutrients, all the different cells of the body, they will be using these nutrients for growth and repair. Yes, and this process, okay, and this step is nothing but this is known as your assimilation. What? This is known as your assimilation. Done. Okay, digestion is completed. Every cell, they are taking up the nutrients. Then what? They will process. They are going to release their excretory products, or they are going to release their waste products, and they are going to again send back these waste products to the bloodstream. Then what happens? Now we are at the last phase of what? Last phase of your nutrition, that is your excretion. Excretion is nothing but this is the removal of your harmful waste from the body. Okay, harmful waste from the body. And say in case of us, okay, in case of human beings, waste products are mainly your nitrogenous waste products, that is your urea. Okay, the main nitrogenous waste product in our body is your urea, or you can say what? Uric acid. So yes, excretion is a process by which this waste product, okay, urea, or you can say uric acid, is being removed from the body. Okay, removed from the body. So done. Yes, nutrition is completed. Yes, so did you understand? Okay, all right. Now, okay, so this is the last, I hope. Yes. So see here. What did I say again? That your food is a medicine, right? So see here. These are the different kind of examples. See, there is a beautiful picture here, okay, of the foods, different kind of foods that you are, that you eat generally in your day-to-day life. You have to identify which food contains which kind of nutrient, okay? So see here, carbohydrate, okay? When we talk about carbohydrate, this is an energy-rich compound, right? So you are going to find carbohydrate in your food sources such as your rice, wheat, potatoes, and most important is your jaggery. Most important is your what? Is your jaggery. Yes, this is a very good source. This is an excellent source for your carbohydrate, jaggery. Okay? The next, when we say about protein, okay? So protein-rich foods, this you will find in meat, including your chicken. Chicken is the best. I think this is the best source, yes, for non-vegetarian, okay? But when we talk about a vegetarian, yes, for them, soya, or you can say soya bean, this is the best source of your protein, okay? So protein you are going to find in your meat, fish, legumes, and your dairy products. So legumes, this means here, these are nothing but these are your seed, okay? Different kind of seed. And what? Seed. Then it includes a black gram, okay? See here. This, yes, this is a black gram, okay? See this picture. Black gram. All right. Black gram. Then what? Pulses. Yes, pulses. All these are, all these are rich in your protein. And dairy products, we all know, right? It is your milk products. Yes, milk products. Also, one more important, most important source of protein. This is your egg. Yes, egg. Egg is the best source of protein, you can say. All right, especially the egg white. Okay, egg white, because do you know the reason why egg is usually said as the best source of protein? Why? Because egg white contains your albumin. Egg white contains your what? Which kind of protein? It contains your albumin. And albumin, okay, this is the most abundant plasma protein, okay? Albumin is the most abundant plasma protein. That is the reason why your egg is considered as the best source of protein. And for, for vegetarian people, okay, if you are vegetarian, then you can opt for your soya chunks, yes? All right. Then coming to fats, where you are going to find fats? Fats you are going to find in your different kind of oils, yes? Fish oil, then your palm oil, but palm oil is not healthy, actually it's unhealthy. So you should always go for your unsaturated fats, okay? Always your vegetable fats. Animal fats are not good for health, okay? Animal fats are unhealthy. All right. Then avocado C. In case of fruits, okay, avocado C, I think here, yes, this is your picture, right? This is your avocado, right? So avocado has the highest source, or you can say highest content of fat when we talk about your fruits, right? So avocado contains the highest amount of fat among all the fruits, right? Then your ghee, butter, yes, all these are your examples of your fat. Lastly, vitamins and minerals. It includes your all the veggies and your fruits, different kind of spinach, different kind of your tomato, brinjal, ladyfinger, all these veggies. So eat your veggies daily, right? Eat your veggies daily, okay? So yes, we have come to the end of this video, right? So let us just conclude, okay, what we have learned today in this short class. Let us just conclude. So first and foremost, we have learned about nutrition, right? This is nothing but this is the science of your food, how living organisms take in food and then break complex food molecules into simpler forms. So balanced nutrition, yes, balanced nutrition, this is nothing but this combines varied foods or varied, nutrients so that your body is able to meet all the energy and energy requirements and your nutrient requirements, right? Then what? It is written, see here, proper intake, okay? Proper intake of your food, it will support your growth, immunity and long-term health. All right? Okay. So I hope this explanation, yes, so I hope you have understood this explanation in the simplest and, the most interesting way possible, right? So if you found this video useful, like this video, share it with your friends and subscribe to our channel. And also comment below what is your favorite healthy food. See you in the next video. Till then, stay healthy and keep learning. Okay? Thank you.
আশা কৰো আজিৰ ভিডিঅ'টি আপোনালোকৰ বাবে সহায়ক হৈছে। যদি আপুনি এই বিষয়টো আয়ত্ত কৰিব বিচাৰে আৰু আগবাঢ়ি যাব বিচাৰে তে আমাৰ কম্প্ৰিহেনসিভ কোৰ্সসমূহৰ এনৰোলমেন্ট ইতিমধ্যে আৰম্ভ হৈছে। পলম নকৰি আমাৰ ডেসক্ৰিপচনত থকা লিংকটোত ক্লিক কৰক অথবা আমাৰ লগত যোগাযোগ কৰিব পাৰে।